Hello, Maurieo! Engineering, Design and Drawing. MG 5005, Session 1, Introduction, Design Process. Hello, and welcome to the first session of this topic in the start of a new semester. So, Engineering, Design and Drawing, Introduction to the Design Process. It's what we will be looking at in this video. So, at this point in time, what we need to do is let's go to the Moodle site and have a look. So, here we go. We'll just head across to the Moodle and had a look. Now this is something like what your Moodle site should look like. This is my page, so it'll be a bit slightly different. So let's go to Engineering, Design and Drawing. Okay, and there we go. This is opened up in the in that tab, but let's go to the home page. The home page takes a little bit of time to load. You need to wait for it sometimes for it to load, but you can see it's grinding away up in the top corner here, and there it is, it's loaded now. But first up, I'm going to go to the session PowerPoint. So we're in at session 1. We'll come back and look at the assessment at another time. So, session 1, this is it here. Now, straight away, you'll notice that there's before you come to class. And this is a important feature of things, is that I have certain expectations of tasks that you would have done before you come to class. So, I hope you've got the email and that you've done these things. Now, I've put in here, watch the 4 MIT videos in the design process. It's a little page below, but there it is there. There's 4 videos, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I've asked that you just watch them. Now, all you have to do is watch them. You don't have to take any notes or anything like that. Just watch those videos. They introduce some very interesting concepts and ideas that I'm hoping that you will put into play. Now, if you find, now to go back, just click the back arrow there. If you have more time, of course, it would be nice for you to familiarize yourself with, in particular, session 1 and some of the other information that's provided there, the drawing and sketching guides, report writing guides and things like that, if you have time. But at a minimum, watch the 4 videos. The other stuff there will just give you added experience, which will make you way, more able to understand what's happening in the class. But that's the minimum there. That'll just get you barely started. All right. Now, each class has a session plan, and I'm going to first up have a look at the session plan and expand that out. Like so, and possibly just make it a little bit bigger there. All right, so here we have, you'll see that there's I call it session 1, that's the entire week, and it's split up into 2 subsessions, we'll have to call them. First one up is a 2-hour session, and there a 2-hour in the lab, and then a 3-hour in the lab. So I've broken it down here as to what will happen, and this is going to be pretty standard to what happens in most of the situations. So first up, we've got to get the class register signed. Now, on the first day, of course, I may not know some of you, but I will know a few of you. So we get it signed. As time goes on, I get to know you and I can mark it. But it is important that you make sure that your presence in the class is recorded, particularly if you're an international student, as the international student body or administrators will follow up on your attendance, or if you aren't here. So really important that you make sure that I have marked you here. So we'll sign in there. Ideally, you should log into Moodle, and I've asked everyone to see if they can log into Moodle before they come to this particular class, because that means they're all up and running. And then today I'm going to give an intro. Today's quite longer than normal because I'm going to give an intro, the course outline, the course diary, assignment 1 is up and running, and then the basic 2G CAD project assignment as well. So these things are all happening in parallel, in fact. So it's quite a bit of time just to go through them all and set it all up. So I'm hoping that will, could possibly take up to an hour, but time will tell. And then once that's over, and we've got over that, then it'll just be settling down to doing the basic 2D CAD project assignment in class. Or, you may wish to get underway with your assignment 1 as well. So you've got plenty of tasks to do in class, so there's no reason to be sitting around doing nothing, or twiddling your thumbs, or watching YouTube clips about skateboarding or drifting or whatever. All right, so in the second session in the week, which is a 3-hour session, you'll come in and sign the class register. I'll do a very quick intro, which will perhaps recap on some of the areas or questions that have come up since the last session, and then we'll do a quick Q&A, question and answer session, and then the time is for you to get on with your assignment work, and for me to give tutor feedback. Now, what I'm going to try and do every week is to make contact with each student to get an idea as to where they are at, give them some feedback, for them to give me some feedback as well. So I'm hoping to meet with each of you, or have a one-on-one with you at least once during one of the 2 sessions. That's not to say you can't ask for help at any time. That's the thing. Or that you can ask for help outside of those sessions. Just a matter of contacting me, making a time. If I'm available, I will help you. I'll do everything I can to help you. If I'm not available, I'll let you know, but we should be able to organise a suitable time. Okay, so that's the course outlines. The session plan. We'll just close that down. And now we'll go to the session notes, which is a PowerPoint, and that you'll see that opens up in here like so. And here it is opening up now, hopefully, through Moodle. So a little bit slow, but it should hopefully come to the fore soon. Not going quite so well. I wanted to do it this way to demonstrate to you that there, but that's not happening. Let's see. Oh, there we go. So it's coming down there, and then we click on there, and it should open. Come on. So what's happening there? Why isn't that opening? So these are little problems that happen from time to time. I don't know why that's doing that. I think what I'll do is I'll give it one more go. It doesn't seem to. I don't know why it's going to there. So it's definitely open. Always open. Show in folder. Perhaps I can do that. That might help. And there it is there. And we'll open it from there. Is that going to work? Now here it is. It's actually possibly is open somewhere. It may well have opened. There's the problem. It's opened on my second screen, like so there. All right, so finally I've got it. So yes, we do have problems from time to time, and slideshow from the beginning. So what happened was I've got quite a number of versions of it now on my second screen. So this is session 1. We set up the PowerPoint. These are my contact details there that should be showing up. So Maurieo, that's my real name there. My email address here at Wintech and my cell phone number. You can contact me anytime. If I don't want to answer the phone, I won't. If I can, I will, and I will try to help you. I'm also available on Skype. I can go live on YouTube. So all the channels are open. Okay, so there's the session plan that I've just talked you through already. So it's available here in the PowerPoint, and then that brings us to the key learning outcomes. So on successful completion of this session, you should have a holistic understanding of course and tutor expectations, access to the course Moodle workspace. This is very important. You need to make sure that you can get into that Moodle workspace. And if you can't, you need to talk to me about that. You need to perhaps let me know if perhaps you are living in an isolated area where there is no internet there. That can be a problem. These are things I need to know about so that I can make alternative arrangements for you to get appropriate information. An overview of the proposed team structure and expectations. We will be working in teams. An overview of the course diary expectations. An understanding of the design process. An overview of assignment 1, the tennis ball launcher. And an overview of the basic 2D CAD project. So you can see that there's quite a lot to get through in this session, and a lot of it involves me introducing these things. So I am going to introduce them in as much detail as I think necessary, but just enough to whet your appetite, so to speak, so that you've got a sort of a few things that you can hang on, and then you need to fill in the details as time goes on. Perhaps with questions and further reading and stuff such as that, or re-watching this video. So the course outline, is provided in the Moodle site, and we will have a look at that a bit later when we go and actually have a look at the Moodle site. But just in general terms, here's an overview of the course. So it's a 15 credit course. And generally we budget 10 hours per credit, which is 150 hours. So it's 15 weeks, 10 hours per week is 150 hours. Now the timetable, you've got 5 hours of theory, or in the lab, so to speak. 5 hours in the lab with me. 5 hours times 15 weeks is 75 hours. So directed, scheduled, 75 hours, 5 hours per week. Self-directed, unscheduled, 75 hours, 5 hours per week. So these are what your expectations are. This is the product that you, in signing up to this is what you've committed to or what you've bought. So if you're thinking that you can get it done in 3 hours a week, I would like to say think again. I mean, it may be possible for some of you, but it's really pushing it. So I've designed to make this as 10 hours work per week for an average student. So some may be able to get it done in 9, some may need 11, some may need a lot more, particularly if there's aspects of language and what have you that they have difficulty with. They're going to have to take extra time to understand, translate, and that sort of thing. So this is expected. So for our average student who has reasonable English skills, reasonable mathematical skills, where 10 hours a week is what this course is for. So if you have some gaps in your knowledge with regards to mathematics, you might need more time per week. If English and written word is not your strong point, you might need to take more than 10 hours a week to complete this course. So you need to bear that in mind. It's designed for that. So if you're going to try and do it in 5 hours a week, you're going to put yourself under a lot of pressure, and there's going to be a lot of stress and a lot of gnashing of teeth and what have you. So just remember that the course is designed for 10 good solid hours per week, which is possibly, realistically, maybe a day and a half or a day and a quarter, just for this one subject. That's the expectation. Successful student behaviours. As a tutor, I observe a number of successful students, and there are some behaviours that are common to those students. There are some behaviours that are common to students who don't quite succeed academically in my terms. They may succeed in their own terms, in that what they're trying to achieve through the course, but in terms of the recognised academia, get over 50% achievement, there are some behaviours that are pretty conducive to achieving that goal. So I've just made a little note here, or I found this actually on the internet, of 10 things that require zero talent. These are all things that you can do, and they're all successful student behaviours. Being on time, working hard, putting in maximum effort, demonstrating good body language, not collapsing in your chair, looking tired or asleep, high energy, bringing energy to the situation, engaging in everything, getting involved, attitude, a real positive attitude for what you want to do. These don't take any talent, they're easy to do. Being passionate about you wanting to do, having some skin in the game, wanting to be the best, wanting to maximize your opportunity. Being coachable. Be a little bit of humility in some sense. Don't pretend to know everything. Invariably, you'll find someone who knows a little bit more than you, or you sort of don't quite know as much as you think. So be prepared to listen and to follow advice. Zero talent required for that. Doing a little bit extra it's smart, but it doesn't require any talent. Anyone can do it. And being prepared. Do some reading and research before you come to class. Do the suggested work. Watch some videos. Just get a good, strong background. These are all good, successful student behaviours. But the key one is engagement. We want you to engage with the material. Be involved in it at every step. You're here for 2 hours and 3 hours. You need to be, by all means, have a suitable break of maybe 10 minutes where you do something completely different. I would ask that if you're going to have a break, that perhaps you just bear in mind that others might not be having a break at the same time of you, and watching a YouTube video of some of your favourite sporting pastimes could be distracting to other people who are trying to be engaged with their work. So if you are going to want to do something that's perhaps going to make it difficult for other people to concentrate, perhaps you could consider just leaving the room for 10 minutes and letting your tutor know, maybe going for a little bit of over to the hub for a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, and use computers and things over there. But you want to be engaged yourself, but also do no harm to others by interfering with their engagement with the subject. Evidence. It doesn't matter how good you are. You can do everything perfectly. But if you don't leave any evidence behind, well, how do we know? Now, I might know that you're the best CAD draftsman in the world, but unless you can give me some evidence, the other people who only base their assumptions and things on evidence have nothing to go on. So the important part of any course really is collecting the evidence so that I can say, well, here's the evidence. Bill is an A+ student. Look at this. Here's the evidence. So we are collecting the evidence. The evidence is very important, and it needs to be in a well-organized, tidy sort of tidy sort of presentation. So it's important at all times that you be thinking about the evidence and how you're going to present it. Do things for keeps. Don't say, oh, I'll scribble on this bit of paper and then I'll do a good copy. It's a waste of time. Do it right the first time. Think about the evidence. You're collecting the evidence so that when someone asks me, is Bill an A student? I can say yes. Here's the evidence. So evidence is very important. Engagement and evidence. Okay, now this is a regular segment. Those of you that may be familiar with my teaching methods, I ask everybody to do a course diary where you write down what you've done, record your feedback, your reflections, what you thought. So each week I will be asking you, is your diary up to date, by way of a reminder? Just like your mum probably nags you to clean your room or, wash your car or wipe behind your ears or something, brush your teeth or whatever. I will be reminding you on a regular basis, is your diary up to date? This is worth 5% of your total mark. It's an easy 5%. All you have to do is fill in your diary, say what you did, what you felt, what marks you got, how you thought the course could improve, all of these things. Now, the reason I ask you to do this is because getting into the habit of doing these things is a very good way of self-evaluation, evaluating how you're going and improving how you do things. It's a very key habit for successful learners and successful people in general. Okay, so is your diary up to date? Now, the next one, the first assignment we've got is the tennis ball launcher. And what you have to do is to build a tennis ball launcher. And I will be going into more detail on that assignment a bit later on. But essentially, the person that can develop the launcher within the rules, that can throw a tennis ball the furthest, will be the champion, so to speak. So the tennis ball launcher is there, and it's all about the design process. The idea of the tennis ball launcher is that you use it as a vehicle to demonstrate your knowledge and understanding and practical application of the design process, which is at the basis of all engineering. So I'm asking you to do some research on the design process, which we'll have a look perhaps in the next slide. So I will be going through in more detail about the tennis ball launcher. You will be working in teams of up to 4. There's certain things you'll be testing, marking schedule, report format. You'll be producing a static display. Suggested that old photocopier parts and things like that might be a good source of materials. We'll talk about this a little bit later. But the essential learning outcome is the design process. Okay, now you'll be working in teams of up to 4, but you can have a team of 1. However, I must point out that if you have a team of 1, you will still have to do the same work as a team of 4. So while you might feel that working on your own is superior, you will have to do a lot more work. The intention is that you work in teams so that each person, if you have a team of 4, each person does a quarter of the work. If you have a team of 3, each person does a third of the work. If you have a team of 2, each person does half the work. So if you have a team of 1, each person, the person does all the work. But it's going to be a lot more work because the project is designed to be done by a team of 3 or 4. So bear that in mind when you're making that decision. Now, the design process, there are many variations of the design process. And this is the engineering design process, really, you might say. And this is just one of them. But I want you to demonstrate using the tennis ball launcher as to demonstrate, to provide the evidence that you understand the design process. So generally it starts with a brief for a problem. In this case, to build a tennis ball launcher to throw a tennis ball further than anybody else. That's, how you word the problem is obviously up to you. So then you define the problem, okay? Then you do some research, which might involve, looking on the internet or reading books or asking various people. You do some research. Now, that all information goes into the pot there, and you evaluate it. It may be that after doing some research, you actually change the brief or reassess the problem. But once you've got through that sort of stage, you've got that nailed, then you sort of come up with some concepts. Now, the expectation is that each group or team will come up with a minimum of 3 concepts. So if you're in a team of 1, that's 3 concepts. If you're a team of 3, that's 1 each. Team of 4, 1 each as well. So you have to have 4 concepts. Now, once you've got your concepts, you might want to do, that might spark some more research. You might want to slightly change the problem or the brief, but eventually you will have 4 possible concepts. Then it's a matter of choosing the best one of those to move forward. And you need to work out how you did that and why you did it. And then you develop that one fully till finally you come up with the final solution. And we can always go back into the pot at any time to rejig things and do things differently and adjust. So finally, when we've got the final solution, we bring that, we test it, and we bring that to the demonstration, to the end thing where we have the launching of all of the various ones. And then once the launching has taken place, and you perhaps see what others have done, you evaluate your answer. You evaluate your solution to the problem, and you may evaluate it that it's the best in the world, and there's nothing. But generally, there will be some things that need changing about it. And so you go back through the whole process again, or you may decide that perhaps one of the concepts that you rejected here might need to be developed because of what you've found and what you've discovered. So that is the design process. Now, you will be working in teams, and as I said, teams of 1, 2, 3 or 4. It's up to you. You will be selecting the teams yourself. Now, the reason why we work in teams is together, everyone achieves more. The team is generally better than the best individual. So if, say, for instance, everybody does the same task and you choose the best individual, but then you do the same task as a team, you'll find that the team will outscore the individual because you've got more people working on it, more options, more parameters. It's a no-brainer, really. But the thing is that our employers that we deal with, the people who we are preparing you, who have the jobs that we're preparing you for, tell us that they want team players. They want people who can work in a team, can work with others, and can really get engaged with the team and achieve great things. So you may, as you'll be aware, from time to time, various opportunities come up for us to recommend students for 2 employers or 4 employers, or you may come and ask if a tutor would be a referee for you for when you're going for a job. Now, if you're a person that works in a group of 1 and the employer asks me, is Bill, well, Bill's getting a hammering, is Bill a team player? I'm not going to lie on anyone's behalf. My integrity is worth a lot to me. It's all I have in some respects. It's what I take home at the end of the day. And so I'm going to say, well, no, Bill is not a team player. I have never observed him working in a team. He always works on his own. So, even if you hate teamwork with a passion, I would suggest that you give it a crack, try and make it work. And I've given and provided some resources that might help you in regards to how to make teamwork, how to better improve your team. Remember that a good team doesn't happen overnight. Me picking 4 names out of a hat and saying, well, you're a team, is not going to make a team. You have to learn to work together. You have to learn to understand other people's issues, what their strengths and weaknesses are, who the leaders are, how you do things. Everybody must help the team. Nobody is bigger than the team. Nobody's too important to not do the little jobs. I know there are a lot of slogans, but that's how it is. That's what we read. Okay, so the next aspect of this is the launcher project is designed to be done with so that it can be done totally by without needing CAD, because you're going to be in parallel with that. You're going to be learning CAD in the basic 2D CAD project. So that's going to be happening in class time, and the tennis ball launcher project, they're going to be occurring in parallel. So you're going to have to use your time wisely. So the basic 2D CAD project is going on at the same time, and we'll talk further about that a little bit later on. Okay, so now before next week, so when you come back next week, I would ask for the next session that you've read the design process resources, and you've perhaps read the teamwork resources, so that you've got some good understanding of the design process and teamwork, so that you can apply it in your class for your project. You'll also be heavily involved in some work on the 2D CAD project as well. So some recommendations there, some review of what's happened in this session before next session. I will also be giving you some idea of any information that you need to, and other stuff that you need to do before you come to class, perhaps a little bit later in the week. I'm still working on that at this point, and it very much depends on what happens in the class, so that I can react to situations that arise. So that brings us to the end of the PowerPoint here, and this is my What's New in Moodle session. So generally I have a PowerPoint for each session, and we go to the PowerPoint. Now what's happened here, of course, is we're already in Moodle. So let's just get rid of this PowerPoint here, and here we are in Moodle. So we've had a look at the home page. Oh, here's the home page here. Okay, so let's have a look at Moodle, and this is the home page here. It takes a little while to load. You can see up in this top corner here how it's grinding away and downloading information already there. So this is the home page, and on the home page what you'll find is the course outline, and we'll go and have a look at that in a minute, and the news forum. Now in this news forum, this is where all the emails that come out from the course, that's where they emanate from. So I'll just click in there, and you'll see that I've already sent out one email at this point, and that's just an email that you should have received. Just say the quick note that the Moodle site is up. I've just rolled over the 216 course, and I'm updating it to 2017. The only changes are that I've changed the self-propelled car. It's now a tennis ball launcher. So you should have received that email if you've been enrolled in the course properly. If you haven't, or you've got some enrollment issues with Moodle, you need to come and see me. Now over here in assessment, here's the assessment here, and this is the assessment schedule here. Oops, sorry, I'll go back. My bad. I said I would go through the course outline. So here's the course outline here. All right, and you can see, I'll just make that a little bit bigger. Should be okay there. Just get my head out of the way. So this is the course outline here. It gives that's the contents of the course outline. The contact details for me, your tutor, are here. Aidan Bigham, the program coordinator, and Trudy Harris, the team manager. So if you have any problems that you would like to take higher up, first port of call Aidan, and then if you wish to go higher than that, Trudy, and then further up from that you've got the centre director, Shelley Wilson, and then you've got the Dean of Wintec, Gay Barton. So there's a structure in place for you if you have issues and you want them resolved, or you're unhappy in any way, that this is the process that you can go through, or these are the people that you can contact. I would like to think that you could, if you do have an issue, that you could approach me directly. However, I fully respect your judgment into who you talk about and issues that you might have. Now, this is a summary of the course here. Course code, so level 5, 15 credits, as I said, 150 hours I've discussed with you, 75 directed and 75 self-directed. The aim is to provide students with an understanding of engineering design, drawing practice and modelling in an applied concept. Just checking here that I'm actually in the right course. Yes, design and drawing. All right. And the learning incentive. Okay. The content is the engineering design process, principles and techniques of engineering design and drawing, models and drawings, and report and model presentation. So here's the weekly schedule. Now, first up, we have the basic 2D CAD project is going on, and I will talk to you in detail about that a bit later on. At the same time as that, you will have the design assignment, which is the assignment 1, which is the tennis ball launcher. Now, on the week 34, week starting the 21st of August, you will be doing a presentation and launch for the tennis ball launcher. So that's got to happen in that week in one of the 2 classes, and details will be there. And then the actual report from that is due in on the Monday of the next week. Okay, the basic 2D CAD project will continue on past that, but we will start assignment 2, which is the picnic table assignment, where you measure and draw up a picnic table, or some have alternative ones that they have suggested that I have approved. So, and then on the 4th of September, the CAD project will be due in, and just before the midterm break, the table assignment will be due in. So once the 2D CAD is over, essentially your each session that you have, I'll have a brief introduction, but you will be working on the assignment. Then after the midterm break, you will be working on your projects, which are the civil, mechanical and electrical projects. I will introduce those to you possibly before the midterm break, so that you could use some of that time for doing a bit of research or collecting materials. And then right at the end of the course diary and the final project all due in by the 17th of November. Here's the assessment schedule here. So you've got your CAD project here, your diary is going on throughout the course, and the tennis ball launcher. So that all finishes at the 28th of August. Then the CAD tasks on the 11th of September, 29th of September, your picnic table project, and then your final one. There is no exam in this course. It's all assessment, totally assessment. There's no exam. You must do each assessment, and you must attempt all assessments and attain a grade of more than 40% in all assessments worth 40% or more of the total. So you must get over 40 in the final assessment there. The learning outcomes describe the stages of the design process. I cannot stress how important that design process is, that you have a good understanding of it, that you provide evidence of your understanding of it. Apply the principles, standards and techniques of design and drawing used in engineering concepts, and you use models and drawings to meet given briefs and communicate outcomes of solutions. So very important that you communicate the outcomes of the solution. So that's graphically, by way of a presentation, digitally, multimedia, video, all of these things come into play. Course-related information. Attendance is very important. If you're going to have some reason for not attending, I suggest that you contact me as soon as you know and let me know. I may be able to give you some advice as to what data and information you want. Whether you get a medical certificate, these sort of things. So contact me as soon as you possibly can. You know that I'm open on all sorts of channels, so there's no real excuses there. Let me know what's happening. Let me know if I can pass on information to your teammates and other people and that sort of thing. Assignments must be handed in by 11:59 p.m. on the due date. If you cannot meet the deadline, you must fill out a special consideration form available online and at reception, and give this prior to the due date. Late assignments may incur a loss of 10% of the total mark per working day over the due date. So these are in there. Plagiarism. Don't copy other people's work. Be very careful about what you do around other people. Don't leave your own work lying around. People can copy it, take photographs of it, and use your work. If two people are deemed to have similar work, you could have some serious problems if your work has been copied. So take precautions to make sure it can't be copied. Don't lend your work to other people. Don't give people copies of your digital files to show things, because some of them will copy it and hand it in. So be very careful and know who you're giving it to and what they're going to do with it. I would recommend that you don't. By all means, show people your work, talk to them about it, but do not give them copies of it. Do not let them photograph it and these sort of things, because they can have problems for you. Now, it may be easily explained, but it's just stress you don't need. The tutor sees two bits of work that are exactly the same, calls up both people. It's stress that you don't need. Even if you are totally innocent, it comes at a cost. So be very careful, be very vigilant. And so that brings us to the end of the course outline, of which I have given you a hard copy. So if we go now to the assessment page, you can see that there's an overall assessment schedule there. I'll put some sort of results and things in this space here. Nothing yet, obviously. The course diary. So there's a video on the briefing for the diary, which I will be going through the diary possibly after this, and my expectations. A bit of an update there, course diary and the marking schedule. The basic 2D CAD, again, a video introducing that. I will be going through that live sometime after this introduction. Basic 2D CAD assignment, so that's a written bit of that. Again, a hard copy of that. And the design process assignment, there's a video there explaining that, which again I will be going through with you. And a copy of the assignment documents, all of which will be handed to you in hard copy in class. Or if you've got some issues with that, perhaps you need to email me. We can sort something out. As yet, these the picnic table assignment haven't been updated for 2017 and the 2016. There will be no substantial change to those. There may be some small changes to that, but generally they will be similar. The mechanical project might have some changes. The civil cul-de-sac will stay pretty much the same. Okay, so that's the assessment tab. And then we, now the basic 2D CAD is, I've set it up as a separate course, which you can access from within this course. So here it is here. You click on here, 2017 basic 2D CAD, and that takes you to that course. And there'll be a home page of that course. So it's not a separate course. It's a course within a course. And essentially, there's some copies of the assessment associated with that. You'll see that there's two assessment pieces there, because I used the same course for different courses. So one is the Bachelor of Engineering Technology, and one is the Diploma of Engineering. They have slightly different assignment weightings and things like that, and there's the briefing for that there. And then in here, essentially what the course is a series of videos that you follow through that show you how to draw a set of plans. More on that in detail a bit later on. Okay, so that's the basic 2D CAD. Come back out of there, back out of there, and that should bring you back to our thing. And here's session 1 here. So session 1, I've asked you before you come to class to do these things here. I'll send out an email about that. Session 1, this is the notes that I've gone through, the session plan there, and then some resources that will be helpful at this stage. So the intention is that you would go through and review those resources. I've also put some teamwork resources here that you might find helpful, working with a team and so on, as you have to do for the assessment, tennis ball launcher assessment. So that's pretty much Moodle. As we go through, there'll be various sessions. The resources are sometimes repeated here just so that they can be a little bit easier to find at different times. But yeah, that will work on that. The Moodle course is a dynamic live document. I do make mistakes. I am fallible. If you see things that you think possibly could be adjusted or fixed or changed, or if you find some material that you think would be a good fit with the course, email me, let me know, and we can certainly work on that and get things organised in that regard. So I think we'll we've pretty much finished the introduction to the course. I've been going almost an hour, 54 minutes, so it takes quite a while to get through all this stuff, and particularly in a video it would be a pretty interesting watch, I would imagine. But it is here for you, so the intention of the videos is that if you miss the class, you can obviously catch up with generally what's happened. I will be doing this live in the class, where you'll give the opportunity to feedback and ask questions and that sort of thing. So let's wind it up there, and then I'll move on from here to have a look at, in depth, some more details around assignments and what have you. Cheers! See you!